certain baggages of certain serious complications like progressive multifocal leukoencephalopathy. You need very close monitoring to be able to use those kind of medications. And I've already mentioned about alemtuzumab. Natalizumab is one drug which is already available in India, and again it predisposes you to development of progressive multifocal leukoencephalopathy if you have the virus in your body. So you need close monitoring. And many patients who are on this drug, if they have entered into that secondary progressive phase, if you are able to just catch them at that phase, you can still arrest the disease process and help to improve symptoms or at least prevent disability from happening. So this seems to be a good option in patients who have failed the first line drugs. Mitochondron is anti-cancer drug, which again has a lot of benefits in MS. It's again, acts on the the immune system and suppresses the immune system quite tremendously. The problem with this drug is it can cause cardiac toxicity and can lead to, if you use it for long duration, can lead to malignancies. So you have to be careful on this therapy. Again, it is useful for patients who don't respond to the first line drug, and sometimes in progressive MS, some patients might respond to this kind of therapy. Alemtuzumab is slightly less expensive than natalizumab. It is widely used in Europe, not yet in US. Drug is not available with us now. But again, people who have failed the first line drug, the efficacy seems to be quite good. And I have at least one personal communication where natalizumab has not worked and patients have improved with alemtuzumab. Okay, now, see, all these therapies are quite expensive. As I said, if you want to go for disease modifying agents, the minimum cost of treatment would be around, say, 8,000 per month to maybe 45,000 per month. And if you want to use fingolimod, it goes up to $3,000. Okay, so we have cheaper options. So the point what I'm trying to say is that don't get worried about the cost of treatment. It's better to be on some sort of therapy than no therapy. Now, drugs like azathioprine, methotrexate, cyclophosphamide, these are all immunosuppressant drugs, which many people still do well. What do you think? You need to be monitoring the side effects of these medicines pretty closely. So azathioprine is one drug which you can. I think many of you are on azathioprine already. Good drug, very simple to use. Most neurologists are well experienced with this medication. If you can monitor your liver and blood count, that is more than enough. Sorry, just. Yeah, cyclophosphamide is more toxic than azathioprine. We typically reserve this for patients who have failed most of the other therapies. And there's an oral form also, but it's always better to use a high dose parenteral therapy. This is the various medications that I was just discussing about. But you just need to know that so many treatment options are available. It's easily available on the net. You put any MS Society website, you get details about all these medicines and their adverse effects and their efficacy. All those details are easily available. But what you need to know is that there are so many options of treatment which can be considered. Now there are other therapies. As I was mentioning about plasmapheresis. Recently we had one gentleman from US who showed us patients who did not respond even to the second line drug. And on putting them on maintenance plasmapheresis, those patients who were bedbound for say 2 to 3 years have started walking. So this is some sort of therapy which doesn't really involve any medications, no immunosuppression. It is not very popular because no pharmacy company is going to support this particular therapy. Because nobody benefits out of it, except the patient, nobody else benefits out of this particular form of therapy. So we need to look at this kind of therapies very seriously. And then, so many of you have heard about stem cells. We get so many patients inquiring about stem cell therapies. Now, bone marrow transplant, if you look at the bone marrow, it contains hematopoietic stem cells. This is coming up in a big way. See, as I said, multiple sclerosis is the disease of your immune system. And your immune system is like your memory. So the disease is going to be there till your memory is there, right? So it depends on how strong your immune system is. Now, the best way is to erase your memory. You have something on a tape recorder, on a tape, you erase it and re-record it with something. The same thing is done in bone marrow transplant. You knock off the bone marrow and replace it with a fresh bone marrow. Okay, it's what I told you is a very simple way of explaining things, but it's more complicated. You need to harvest the bone marrow cells. You need to harvest the stem cells, grow them or culture them, knock off the bone marrow with very high dose of chemotherapeutic agents and radiation, which requires several days of stay in the hospital, and then you re-inject. So in this process, you are actually modifying, you are changing your immune system, but you need to be on long-term immunological medicines subsequently. So this seems to be one of the most promising treatments available for MS. But then you have heard of this cerebral venous sinus insufficiency, creating a stents and all. Those things are all totally outdated, and they are not any proven therapy. So this is the basic therapeutic interventions that are available for MS as of now. So thank you for your patience.
Thank you, sir, for giving us hope with regard to MS treatment and also